There's a lot of things that a man's mind can absorb in this life. There's uplifting and righteous things that reach deep into a man's soul, like walking through God's creation. Or even seeing the most intricate design in the smallest creatures. But then there's other things that try to demand our attention and pry on our carnal mind. Things like music, occult symbolism, drinking, partying, end times, and the collapse of our world. And I realize that our mind is a sponge to these things, almost like a clean white canvas ready to be painted with the imagery that we take in. And I found the Bible to say something amazingly simple with regards to holy and unholy things. The prophet Ageu said, "If someone carries holy meat in the fold of his garment and touches with his fold bread or stew or wine or oil or any kind of food, does it become holy?" The priest answered and said, "No." Then Ageu said, "If someone who is unclean by contact with a dead body touches any of these, does it become unclean?" And again the priest answered and said, "Yes, it becomes unclean." And so to apply what's being said here, let's go back to this clean white canvas, which represents a nice, righteous mind. And what would you say if I put my hand and made it unclean and dirty? And then I approach this clean white canvas. What would happen if I put my hand against the canvas? Does my hand become clean simply because the canvas is clean? Or does the uncleanliness of my hand transfer onto the clean white canvas? I think it's pretty easy for us to visualize that uncleanliness spreads very easily and not vice versa. And so it is with unrighteous things that go into our mind. It brings all new meaning into the phrase that Jesus said, "With a little leaven, leavens the whole lump." And this message is really important for this audience as well as myself, because I'm guilty. Our carnal mind loves to figure out what the elite, what the occult are doing, figure out their symbolism, figure out their next plans. But ultimately, what are you going to expect from Hollywood? What are you going to expect from music videos and movies? There's not going to be anything that is righteous coming out of these things. Instead, these unrighteous things are going to add like plaque onto your mind, and this is where the source of so many sinful or blasphemous thoughts come from. So I think there's a balance to be had here. I think we still need to be looking at events of our time from a prophetic point of view and seeing how things are panning out. But at the same time, for those of us who have already been enlightened to the ways of Hollywood and music videos and movies, there's really no sense for us to dig any deeper into those things. Rather, we need to get into the Word of God, be refreshing our mind continually, and try to wash away the unrighteousness of our mind. This is Mike with On Point Preparedness. God bless everybody.